evening, I'm Laetitia Setkawi, and this is Canal Algérie's nightly news. On to the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives the credentials of the ambassadors of Japan, Brazil, Malaysia, Sierra Leone, and Kazakhstan. The President of the Republic receives the ambassadors of Greece and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, who paid him farewell visits following the end of their missions. The President of the Republic receives Tan Sri William Chang, the Chief Executive Director of the Lion Group. And another milestone for the Algerian diplomacy at the UN Security Council. Accessing internal and non-published documents is no longer limited to permanent members. Welcome again. We begin with tonight's top story, where the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received the credentials of 5 new ambassadors to Algeria, namely those of Japan, Brazil, Malaysia, Sierra Leone, and Kazakhstan. Round up with Minisa Kabash.
At the very outset, the President received the credentials of the Japanese ambassador, Kotaro Suzuki.
سيد الرئيس يشرفني أن أقدم لفخامتكم أوراق الاعتماد التي بموجبها يعتمدني جلالة الإمبراطور ناروهيتو كسفير مفوض فوق العادة لليابان. السلام عليكم أعزائي المواطنين والصحفيين الجزائريين اسمي كوتارو سوزوكي سفير اليابان.
Hello to all Algerians. My name is Kotaro Suzuki, Japan's ambassador. I am very proud to be assigned to Algeria. Algeria is a great power in the region and has great influence on the international scene. It doesn't work for its own benefit only, but it works to consolidate security and stability at both regional and international levels. After presenting my credentials given to me by the Emperor, I listened to the ideas of the President around the history of Algeria, its present and its future. As for me, I transmitted to the President Japan's will to develop the industrial relations. The friendly ties between Japan and Algeria go back to before Algeria's independence. On this year, the Algerian-Japanese agreement regarding the creation of an economic joint committee has become operational. This committee is an important step. We will also collaborate in the field of hydrocarbons, renewable energies, and green hydrogen. On the other hand, the youth represent the strength of tomorrow's republic. They are the future. We would like to discover means to cooperate in the field of human resources and that of startups. As ambassador of Japan, I will do my best to upgrade friendship and cooperation between the two countries for the future of Japan, Algeria, and Africa.
Marcos Vinicius Pintagama, سفير جمهورية البرازيل الفيدرالية.
President Tebboune then received that of the Federal Republic of Brazil, Marcos Vinicius Pintagama.
Par lesquels le président, son Excellence Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, m'accrédite comme ambassadeur extraordinaire et plénipotentiaire de la République fédérative du Brésil. C'est un honneur pour moi de présenter la lettre de créance au Monsieur le Président, Son Excellence.
It is an honor for me to present my credentials to President Abdelmajid Tebboune that accredited me as Ambassador of Brazil to Algeria. Our two countries have profound friendship and will work furthermore to consolidate this relationship, which is excellent at all levels, including the political field, as we have similar positions when it comes to global issues, and the economic field, as Brazil is the main destination for Algerian products in Latin America. Same thing for Algeria, as it is the most important partner in Africa. Therefore, I will work to maintain this strong relationship and develop it so that our country could beef up the cooperation in different domains, such as technical cooperation, human assistance, and all fields in which we could work together for the benefit of both countries.
عادة السفير ريزاني إيروان محمد مزلان سفير ماليزيا.
Before receiving the credentials of the ambassador of the Federation of Malaysia, Muhammad Mazlan Rizani Erwan.
His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim, King of Malaysia, appointed me as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Malaysia to the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, and letter of recall of my predecessor. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. On this momentous day, I presented my letter of credence to the President of the Republic of Algeria, Excellency Abdul Majid Tebboune. During the earlier warm and cordial meeting, we discussed strategic issues of mutual interest between our brotherly countries. I am here and mandated to enhance the bilateral relations between Malaysia and Algeria, and we will be working vigorously to embark into more beneficial collaboration, especially in the area of renewable energy, digitalization, vocational education, and also industrial development. Trade and investment will definitely be my main priorities for years to come. As Malaysia is assuming the chairmanship of ASEAN for next year, we are looking forward for more substantiate relationship through sustainable and inclusive initiatives such as green energy and also green economy. This would definitely create impetus to further strengthen our ties. Before I conclude, allow me to express my sincere gratitude to the President of the Republic of Algeria and the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, for the unwavering commitment in enhancing our relation to a higher plateau. This year, Malaysia and Algeria is celebrating our 60th anniversary of international relation. It's a milestone in our relation. Let's work together, Malaysia and Algeria. Shukran. Thank you very much.
السفير الحاج إبراهيم إلفيس كروما سفير جمهورية سيراليون.
Last but not least, the President of the Republic received the credentials of the Ambassador of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Alhaji Brima Elvis Kuruma.
By which His Excellency, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, has appointed me as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Sierra Leone. I want to thank the President for accepting my credentials this morning, and the people of Algeria for the warm hospitality they have accorded us since our arrival. The President and I have spoken lengthily about our relationship, and we want to leverage on that to deepen that relationship. In so many areas we have spoken, and which I'm very pleased. Algeria and Sierra Leone are two friendly countries working at the United Nations Security Council non-permanent category, and also for the peace of Africa. So the President and I have decided that we are going to move it forward together with his counterpart in Sierra Leone. For this opportunity, we want to say thank you very much for the people of Algeria. Thank you very much, His Excellency, for giving us this opportunity. Thank you very much.
سفير أنوربek أخميتوف سفير جمهورية كازاخستان.
Finally, President Tebboune received the credentials of the Ambassador of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Anwarbek Akhmetov.
La lettre de créance par laquelle Son Excellence Monsieur Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, le Président de la République du Kazakhstan,
I am very happy to see you all and happy to be here in Algeria. Today, I had the great honor to hand over my credentials to President Tebboune and to transmit him the best wishes on behalf of the President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. Kazakhstan and Algeria have great potentials for mutual cooperation in all fields. We will intensify our political contact, liberate all potential trade and economic cooperation, launch investment and humanitarian projects. If Algeria is a gate to Africa, so is the case for Kazakhstan and Central Asia. As the first ambassador, I would like to thank President Abdel Majid Tebboune for his support for our diplomatic mission that aims at reinforcing friendship between the two peoples.
Merci pour votre attention. Shukran. Saha.
And the ceremony took place in the presence of the Principal Private Secretary to the Presidency of the Republic, Abu Alam Balem, the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received the ambassadors of two countries who paid him a farewell visit at the end of their missions, the Ambassador of Greece as well as the Ambassador of the United Kingdom of Britain and Northern Ireland, respectively. The President of the Republic received the Ambassador of Greece, Georgios Zakariadakis, who paid him a farewell visit at the end of his mission to Algeria. The audience took place in the presence of the Principal Private Secretary, Boualem Boualem. Here's what he had to say to press.
It is a great honor for me to be received by President Tebboune today. We had a very positive discussion about the bilateral relations between our countries. Mr. President emphasized his political will to further develop these relations, especially in the area of bilateral cooperation. All conditions are in place for this, and I assure him that from Greece we are committed to closer cooperation with Algeria. As two Mediterranean countries with historical ties dating back to antiquity and concrete progress soon in our cooperation. I also want to thank you for the warm hospitality extended to me during my tenure as Ambassador of Greece to Algeria. Thank you very much.
Dans mon séjour en tant qu'ambassadeur de Grèce en Algérie.
Similarly, the President of the Republic received the Ambassador of the United Kingdom of Britain and Northern Ireland, Sharon Wardle, who paid him a farewell visit at the end of her mission to Algeria. The audience took place in the presence of the Principal Private Secretary to the Presidency, Boualem Boualem. And here's what Sharon Ann Wardle had to say to our reporter.
It is an honour as I prepare to depart from Algeria in a couple of days' time to have had the opportunity to meet His Excellency, Mr. President Tebboune. It was an excellent opportunity to be able to talk about the warmth and depth of the relationship between the United Kingdom and Algeria, but realising the potential for us to do so much more in the future. On a personal note, I'm leaving Algeria having had an amazing 4 years in this beautiful country, but of course so much is down to the people, and the warmth and the hospitality I have received has been second to none. So I bid farewell to Algeria and to the Algerian people. You will always have an incredibly big place in my heart. Thank you.
Another presidential activity where the head of state, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received the chief executive director of the Lion Group, Tan Sri William Cheng. The audience took place in the presence of the principal private secretary to the presidency of the Republic, Boualem Boualem, as well as the Minister of State, Minister of Energy, of Mines and Renewable Energies, Mohamed Arqab, in addition to the Minister of Industry and Pharmaceutical Production, Sifi Ghrib, and the head of the Algerian Agency for the Promotion of Investment, Omar Kesh. And here's what the head of the Lion Group had to say.
My name is William Cheng, the chairman of the Lion Group from Malaysia. We are intend to invest in your country. The first phase is the steel and the aluminium project. Then the second phase is the agriculture. This is our total investment to your country in the 3 phases. We are very honored to meet your president and a few ministers to exchange all the views. Then we just explore all the opportunities. We still need to go back and study all the 50 study and the thing available to us. Thank you very much.
In the parliamentarian activity and pursuant to the directives of the President of the Republic, the Speaker of the Council of the Nation, Saleh Goujid, chaired a coordination meeting with the working group in charge of examination of preliminary projects of communal and provincial codes elaborated by the Commission of Experts with the aim of making propositions. Saleh Goujid stressed the importance attached by the President of the Republic to these 2 projects. And the President of the Constitutional Court, Omar Belhaj, received today the President of the Mauritanian Supreme Court, Ahmadat al-Sheikh Ahmed Ould Sayyid Ahmed, and the delegation accompanying him, who paid him a courtesy visit. The meetings revolved around the depth of the relations between both countries and the excellent bilateral relations. On to the cabinet meeting this Wednesday, chaired by the Premier Nadir Al-Arbawi, which was devoted to the examination of a draft executive decree fixing the modalities of the application of the general rules of public markets. The government examined the draft executive decree fixing the modalities of the elaboration and execution of general plans of the prevention of catastrophe risks, and that identifies the sectors in charge of elaboration according to different types of risks. Similarly, the government listened to a presentation on the public water and sanitation services, where the efforts to satisfy the fundamental needs of the population in a fair and sustainable manner were showcased. In the framework of the program related to the reinforcement of water security of the country, decided by the President of the Republic. In the same setting, the government examined a series of measures related to the implementation of large-scale development projects, as well as the development of program of railways and water transfers, in addition to the projects of free exchange zone of Tindouf. Let's head to the International Conferences Center, Abdulatif Rahal, for the proceedings of the 8th Congress of Housing, organized under the high patronage of the President of the Republic. In the second day, participants evoked several topics in the framework of several workshops, providing for the presentation of studies and presentations by researchers and officials of the sector in Arab countries. Both the Jordanian experience in the urban development and the Egyptian experience in the field of governance and construction law were highlighted. The Algerian experience was also held in regard to construction of quality housing and different formulas. On the sidelines of the event, the Minister of Housing, Urban Planning and the City, Mohamed Tariq Belaribi, received the Chinese Minister of Housing and Urban and Rural Development, Ni Hong. Both parties evoked means and ways to reinforce cooperation, notably in the field of urban planning. Coming up in our news. Jewels based on the coral and flourishing handicraft in Al-Qala, and a pride of this eastern coastal town, also well known with its enchanting beaches and unique national park. Taking the floor, the meeting held today by the UN Security Council, Algeria's permanent representative to the UN, Ammar Ben Jama, stressed the necessity for a ceasefire in Gaza and blamed the UN Council for not assuming its responsibility to end this genocide. Let's have a listen to him.
A ceasefire in Gaza is long overdue. We deeply regret these councils' inability to demand an immediate, unconditional, and a permanent ceasefire. The Security Council would have acted decisively to fulfill its responsibility to maintain international peace and security. We cannot continue to look away.
In related news, access to internal and non-published documents of the UN Security Council will no longer be limited to permanent members. An Algerian diplomatic victory after 6 months of tireless work with an aim to ensure equality for all. من المعافى.
After 6 months of negotiations, Algeria succeeded in pushing the UN Security Council to adopt the initiative for equal access to internal and unpublished documents for all Council members, regardless of their status. Previously reserved for permanent members, this access was a discriminatory practice. Algeria faced this practice head-on and worked tirelessly to eliminate it upon joining the Council in January 2024. The reform ensures transparency and equality among all members, marking a significant diplomatic victory for Algeria. To address this legal gap, Algeria's permanent mission in New York initiated extensive consultations with the A3+ group, later expanding to include all elected council members who viewed these documents as their exclusive property. Algeria's persistent efforts, backed by elected members, achieved success. This breakthrough is now known as the Algerian Initiative for Regulating Access to Security Council working documents. This achievement not only puts an end to the document apartheid, but also adds to the series of success achieved by Algerian diplomacy during its first year on the Security Council.
The Moroccan betrayal to the Palestinian cause has become more noticeable with the extradition of Nassim Kalibat, a Palestinian resistant at large in the kingdom. This move denotes once more how the Makhzen is trying to please the Zionist entity by all means. Melissa Leila Balaman explains.
Morocco has crossed yet another step in its unique policy with the Zionist entity and keeps sinking more and more in chaos each day. After the involvement of Moroccan nationals in military actions targeting the population of Gaza, the Makhzen gave the green light for the extradition of Palestinian resistance fighter wanted by the Zionist justice system. Nassim Kalibat, a young 21-year-old Palestinian, is charged of planting a bomb in November 2021 near a health ministry building in Nazareth, resulting in material damage but without causing any casualties. After the arrest of his accomplices, Nassim managed to flee Morocco in 2022, thinking he was safe there. But in 2023, he was arrested in Rabat. The Zionist authorities demand his extradition. As easily predicted, the Moroccan justice gave its agreement. December 17, 2024, Nassim Kalibat finds himself in the jail cells of the Zionist entity. His extradition takes place in the context of consolidating the relations between the Makhzen and the Zionist entity, particularly through economic and military cooperation agreements, marked by the docking of a Zionist ship in Tanger carrying military equipment, before continuing its navigation towards Palestinian territories. On the other hand, the Spanish government has taken a more honorable decision by refusing to welcome Zionist ships in its ports.
Moroccan activists and journalists have filed a case with the Belgian courts over the corruption scandal involving MPs by the Makhzen. The scheme aimed to silence human rights violations in Morocco and the occupied Sahrawi territories. Madam Maafa takes stock with the situation.
According to Belgian media, a group of Moroccan intellectuals and journalists have decided to take legal action against the Makhzen regime in Belgian courts. Among them are opposition figure Ali Rida Zian, son of former minister and renowned lawyer Mohamed Zian, as well as journalists Omar Radi, Suleiman Raisoni and Hisham Mansouri, alongside human rights activist Fouad Abdel Moumni. The victims of the Moroccan repressive regime have joined as civil parties in the investigation opened in 2022, which caused a major stir. The first hearing is scheduled for January 7th. Through their Brussels-based lawyer, the plaintiffs have stated that the interference actions carried out by the indicted MPs and their complicit organizations are extremely serious. The Makhzen is accused of bribing MPs and officials within the European Parliament to influence its decisions in favor of the monarchy's positions. As a result, Europe, widely seen as a bastion of human rights, has turned a blind eye to fundamental rights violations in Morocco and the occupied Sahrawi territories. This includes blatant intolerance of Western Sahara's natural resources exploitation by Rabat, involving major European corporations. While Morocco Gate unfolded on European soil, its repercussions are profound. The scandal has hindered the legitimate process of Western Sahara's liberation and cannot go unwashed.
Famous for its enchanting beaches and its park unique with an ecosystem in the Mediterranean, Al Qala is also the home of jewels based on coral, thanks to a number of specialized workshops gaining more and more importance at the national level. Let's discover more with Melissa Leila Balaman.
We are at the port of Al Qala. Here, the fishermen thrive off of the generous bounty the water of the region has to offer. Yet, not all of them have fish and shellfish as their main goal. Today, the search is aimed towards a Mediterranean treasure, which our crew got the opportunity to witness: red gold. A true treasure of the rocky depths of the great Mediterranean Sea, red coral is an essential material for manufacturing traditional jewelry, especially those of the region. And it is in this workshop that the coral is carefully transformed and enhanced by the artisans, who through very precise techniques create pieces of great finesse.
Before it is put on the market, it goes through several stages: sorting, washing, cutting, sanding and drilling. This work requires a lot of precision.
An extremely meticulous work and wide range of jewelry giving life to unique creations. Coral can be sold at exorbitant prices depending on the quality and diameter of the branches.
This one is the most expensive pieces on the market. That is made of royal red coral. 1 gram can reach to 20,000 dinars.
The resources of the wilaya are daily exploited in a legal and regulated way to ensure the availability of coral on the market and the reduction of its price, in order to revive its exploitation and allow the artisans to amaze us with their creative products.
The end. Thank you for watching. Be well.